This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us in this interesting opportunity and this small mini symposium. We felt that it is very important to highlight what we have done in the last 2 years in this project, so that and also spread the word so students can know more about what we are doing, and hopefully we have more participation from students. The goal here is to give an insight into the program, and also give students the opportunity to learn about all the details of this program. I am very proud that Dr. Fahmida Chaudhary, the program officer from NSF, is present here today, despite her responsibilities and the work that they have to do during this time of the year. And we want to start the program. The first speaker we have is Dr. Nikhil Gupta. He is the PI of the grant from NYU. And as you know, this program is led by NYU. And we are at New York City College of Technology. We are the co-PI, we can consider co-PIs or PIs, but in a small campus. And also with Professor Jay Dodamani from Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi. And it's a great collaboration between 3 institutions from different countries, and an opportunity that you don't see a lot. And this is actually initiated more collaboration between us and NYU. So we have 2 more projects in collaboration with NYU. I don't want to speak too much. I want to give the PI the opportunity to speak the opening remarks for the program. You're welcome, Dr. Gupta.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ghaffar. And it's really a pleasure to have you, Dr. Fahmida Chaudhary. We greatly appreciate the support to this project, which has allowed us to do some really exciting things. So as Ghaffar mentioned, that it's a collaboration between NYU, City Tech, and now, Jay has moved from NIT Surathkal to IIT Mandi. So the program will go with him to IIT Mandi next year. And I have both the logos displayed here. So just a little bit of a background, that the way we proposed was that the US students would spend 7 weeks in the summer at NITK working under 3 different faculty members on research. Then there will be industry visits for 2 days each for 2 companies. And then the students will come back to NYU to spend their 8th week, write report, participate in poster session and other things. And we selected the city based on the manufacturing hub where these industries were located, and there were cultural importance too. And the way this project was proposed was mainly because we hear a lot about outsourcing to India and China from the US for manufacturing sector. And there are a lot of data, including this Deloitte report, that shows that 59% of businesses that they interviewed were already outsourcing to India, and the 22% were more considering doing it. So we are looking at 80+% of US companies actually manufacturing things in India, where there is a lot of focus right now on automation and quality control, quality improvement and all that. So this is the trend going on, and 3D printing, of course, is one of the fastest growing markets out there in manufacturing sector. So $6 billion in 2020, but 30% annual growth rate. And the impact of 3D printing is supposed to be more than $500 billion in 2030 based on all the data which is available. So, okay, here. So this collaboration is based on a lot of interactions that we had between NYU and NIT Surathkal, as well with Professor Jay and also with Ghaffar Gilani. I would request everybody to please mute because I can hear some background noise. So Dr. Dodamani made several visits. We invited him to NYU Abu Dhabi, where we have a campus and we hold many events. Uh, Luna, would you be able to mute yourself? There are some other people not muted.
0002. That's just by doing like a linear interpolation.
Gafar, can you mute everybody, please? He received Office of Naval Research Fellowship to come visit us at New York, and then there were more interaction. In exchange, I visited his institution to present a Gyan short course for 1 week, including some students with me there. And this led to our discussion in 3D printing, and we were already collaborating with each other for about five years, which resulted in more than 25 journal papers jointly authored from both of our groups. So that gave us a very strong footing on what we were going to propose as a research experience for students. And his group has emerged as one of the leaders in polymer 3D printing in India. So there are a lot of opportunities to learn new things there. Now, the way program was structured initially was Bangalore is right here, Jaipur is here, Agra and Kanpur. So these were the cities that we would spend time in Bangalore and then travel to Jaipur, where AHA 3D is located, National Institute of Technology is located. Then by road, we travel to Kanpur, Indian Institute of Science, which is Indian Institute of Technology, which is a leading institution in India. And on the way, we would stop at Agra for seeing Taj Mahal and cultural institutions in that vicinity. Delhi is the national capital right here, and travel through Delhi or through Bombay, which is somewhere here, Mumbai, is possible. So in last year in 2021 summer, we had a 10-week program, recruited students, but due to COVID, we could not go to India. So we recruited 10 students in India and 10 in US. We paired one student from each side, ran the program on manufacturing, and it was very successful, but there was some feedback from students that 10-week program was too much. And this is mainly because in the north and northeast of US compared to southern states, there is a little bit of mismatch in the semester start dates. So 10 weeks just does not work out for all the students if we have national recruiting. And a lot of students just did not apply eventually after talking to us because 1 or 2 weeks would be overlapping with their own semesters. So this year we reduced it to 8 weeks, which works for pretty much everybody. And then since we started recruiting early, like October of last year, when the Omicron was still there and there was no certainty on how the travel to India would work. So we designed the program for this year with 6 weeks of virtual and 2 weeks visit to India. And this is how the students were recruited into the program. So thankfully, towards the summer, these Omicron and other virus variations were reduced and we could plan the trip with the students. So out of 5 students that we had this year, 4 elected to visit India. 1 student could not visit for some reason, which is okay. You know, things come up during international travel. There are lots of things we had to do, including making sure they had the passport, they had the eligibility to get Indian visa. They had to apply the right visa and get it on time. And then we had to plan all the flights and other things. The local ground transportation within India, because we are moving within cities and different cities. And if you have been to India before, you know that driving is just not possible if you are visiting India for the first time. You can look at some videos on YouTube on traffic in India, and you will see how things work without traffic signals and stop signs in many places. So a lot of those issues we had to consider while taking students. And again, food was another big consideration. So finding all the right options, making the trip possible. There was a lot of groundwork done by the mentors here. We had Professor J. Dodamani and the mentors we recruited for the program, Gary Mack, who's a PhD student, and Mudit, who was a master's student. The program was conducted from June 6 to August 1st. So these are the students who visited India on the top line: Kevin Jun, Akar Jain, Janice and Marshall. from Lehigh, Purdue, Princeton, and NYU. So we recruited nationally. There were other students in the program supported by other REU supplements that we had. So these students were from City Tech, University of Maryland, Arcadia. Kurtz was the student who could not visit India. He was part of the IRES. Then Javin and Shani. Shani, I think, is going to be talking today. And then there were Indian students paired with them. So Chelsea was from Jaipur NIT, and she connected with us there. She spent 2-3 days with the students there and was a wonderful host for them. Meenakshi, she connected with us at IIT Kanpur, spent 2-3 days with us there. And again, she did a wonderful job there. Sneha connected with us in IIT Tirupati. Students did not visit, but I visited IIT Tirupati immediately after they returned. So I connected with Sneha there. And then there were other students we didn't have a chance to meet in India, but they were part of the program throughout. So this is the plan. These are some of the pictures, all of us in front of Taj Mahal. If you feel jealous, you feel free to apply next year for the program. Visits to NIT Jaipur, IIT Kanpur. And these are two leading institutions in India. They are government institutions. So we elected a Manipal University, Jaipur, as another institution, which is a private institution there. And that provided a pretty good contrast to the students on how the curriculum, infrastructure, and administration works in these institutions, which is very, very different. They instantly appreciated that how beautiful Manipal University campus was, how progressive the ideas were. But then when it comes to research facilities, the government institutions are way above any private institution there. And Kanpur and Jaipur institutions had better facilities than any US university that you might even consider. So that was kind of a surprise there. AHA Innovations is a company, it makes 3D printers. It's pretty leading manufacturer in India in 3D printers. And they gave an overview of how they started the company and grew it to the level that it is at today, manufacturing in different sectors. And very interesting thing was to see a large scale 3D printers where they had a 10-foot print bed. And the columns for those 3D printers were like 20-25 foot high. So that was amazing. There were many visits to cultural and historic landmarks in the evenings and weekends and on the way to Kanpur. So with this, I just want to thank everybody who was involved with that, especially NSF. An IRES program is very special because not a lot of programs are geared towards giving US students a flavor of foreign countries. So this is really important. And these students who went there, they said that their perception of India has completely changed after interacting with people there, seeing the institutions and facilities. So I think that was the intended outcome of this program. And we also want to thank the administrations of all partnering institutions because there's so much goes into taking undergraduate students to a foreign country. And starting from recruitment to all the paperwork, making sure everything is in place, getting students paid, putting students of other institutions into our system. This is a paperwork intensive job, and we really appreciate their help. NYU Tandon School of Engineering graduate admissions team has been working with us since the beginning of this project. And then the students become part of a larger cohort of NYU's summer research program. And they have access to a number of lectures and resources throughout, including mentoring and training for the graduate research fellowships offered by NSF. So that's a great resource. And Gary Mack, of course, I want to thank him personally also for so much that he did to make this program successful. So that's all I had. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
So sorry, I have to leave, but I will send you an email with a couple of questions. And if you record this, and I know it's getting recorded, so I'll watch. If you send me the link, I will watch the tape. And good luck to all the students. And thank you all for being such a good sport to go through all this hassle and fun and everything. I know it wasn't just one big fun. There must have been hurdles to overcome. So
Yeah,
you make us very proud. So I'll
thank
just shut up and let the next person talk, and I'll quietly leave. Thank you.
Thank you. So one comment I want to make that I didn't cover the research part that they conducted in this presentation, but we hope that a couple of journal papers will come out based on their work in the future.
Once they're submitted, let me know
Sure.
what manuscripts have been submitted. And if it's time for your annual report, you can
Yeah.
stick that in there too.
We'll
Okay.
do that. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Have fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary, for the presence in this mini symposium. Okay, and our next speaker is Caleb Beckwith from New York City College of Technology. He is one of the students who participated in 2021, the first cohort of the students. Unfortunately, he cannot make it, but he recorded his presentation, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to share his presentation with you guys. Let me just open it. Okay, here. So it's 5 minutes presentation, and Caleb is one of the distinguished students, I can say, in this program.
Caleb Beckwith. I apologize for not being here in person virtually to share this with you all, but at the time that you all will be seeing this video, I will be in the middle of orientation for the fall semester of my PhD program at NYU Tandon. Before that, though, I got my undergraduate degree at the New York City College of Technology in the Mechanical Engineering Department. I originally attended the 2021 IRES program and graduated the fall of 2021. In the meantime, I worked for the Hurley Electric Bikes Company, mostly doing data analysis on the failure rates of their e-bikes and working with their engineering team to improve upon these failures. So I originally applied for this internship in 2021 because I wanted to get more exposure and resources to additive manufacturing and to work with students from different cultures. I had originally applied to the 2020 program, of which I was a participant, but due to complications in the world, we had a much smaller group size, and we were not. None of the students were international, so everyone was in the United States at the time. So that it made things easier and more difficult in some ways. My familiarity with additive manufacturing primarily relies upon my time working with Professor Galani. I worked with him in the Center for Medical Devices and Additive Manufacturing. We worked on several projects such as developing cheap and easily producible toys for children with different learning disabilities for them to be able to use and fidget with to help them focus on their lessons. So overall, I had a positive experience during my internship, and it really helped me build my leadership and team working skills. The students from India that I worked with, of which I worked with 3, they were all very fantastic, hardworking people. I cannot say enough good things about them. They all had great ideas of which we all bounced off back and forth about, and any time that we had a challenge or a group assignment to tackle, they would jump on it and really hammer it home and get it done. So that was really, really fantastic. And all of the research done across the previous program and this program really inspired me and led me to pursuing my PhD that I mentioned in the beginning segment. So I applied to and was accepted to get to get into the PhD program at Tandon for mechanical engineering, and my focus will be on additive manufacturing and cybersecurity across the supply chain. Really thanks to my group, we made some really big findings, at least big for us, because we were undergraduate students. So we figured out how to use machine learning to identify broken pieces of machine toolpathing code, and try to cut those out and keep them away from stuff. So thanks to that, we were able to publish a paper in the IEEE Embedded Systems letter. My favorite part of working with them was how we were able to just around the clock work on our Hack 3D challenge, which was a big event that we did. And then our biggest issue really was in the beginning overcoming that time difference. And once we were able to figure out these times work best for us to be meeting, and then when we're not meeting, we can be doing our own thing during these times. Once we got that figured out, it was very easy to work with them. It was fantastic how efficient we were able to get things done. And so I look forward to continuing my research into additive manufacturing and the supply chain due to this internship. And then for any students that didn't get into this internship or anything similar, I strongly advise contacting your professors and reaching out to them to see what research they're doing and if there's any way that you can help them. And then as well, getting involved with your school clubs and activities, because those are just excellent ways to practice the skills that you've been learning in class and then build your resume as leadership practice, design practice. It all adds up and it all helps. And the more that you can do of those, the better it is on you and the better relationships you can build with your classmates. So thank you very much for your time. I've gone a little bit over now, so thank you so much for everything, and goodbye.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, thank you very much for Caleb. That was a great presentation from him. As they say start here and go anywhere. We can say start in this internship and go anywhere. So Caleb, from the internship, he went to do his PhD in NYU. And also we have Yadnish Kote. He started also this internship, and from there he went to Sweden to do his master's degree. And he's our next speaker. So Yadnish, I hope you can join.
Yeah.
Stop the sharing. Okay. And he told me he just arrived to Sweden like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So he's still trying to figure his way out.
So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone. I hope everyone is fine and safe. I'm Yadnish Abhigmarkote. I am currently completing my master's in industrial management and innovation from Uppsala University, Sweden. I have completed my undergraduate studies in industrial engineering from Sri Ramdeva College of Engineering and Management, Nagpur. I have completed my IRES internship with NYU Tandon School of Engineering in August 2021. So that's my short introduction. So basically, I applied for NYU internship to get global exposure, teamwork, and management. And also, I want to collaborate with international students. So talking about my background in additive manufacturing, as I am industrial engineer at that point, additive manufacturing was a new concept to me. But as I learned AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and mechanical analysis tool like ANSYS, I was aware about the term additive manufacturing. Basically, I designed some parts on SolidWorks that sent to STL file, and I just sent to the 3D printing. But I was aware about how additive manufacturing works. So my internship experience was excellent. We were 20 students together from different parts of world. We have two great mentors, Gary and Dr. Heyman, who actually help us a lot in improving our skill in cybersecurity and additive manufacturing. Apart from continuous guidance from Professor Nikhil, Professor Ghaffar, and Professor Mrityunjay, keep us vibrant during the 10 weeks internship period. As Professor Nikhil already mentioned, that was a virtual meet, but we don't feel anytime that it was virtual. This bond was so strong that we feel we actually meet every day. So we have attended a guest lecture from various institutes, which gave us an overall importance of the term additive manufacturing, its types and cybersecurity in today's world. I improved myself from this internship to work and interact with the student from different culture all over the world. So also in the field of like designing Python coding, this internship helped me how all the things works together and how the manufacturing boosts in every part. Talking about the accomplishment, I personally feel lucky that I work with so many international students and so many international professors on very advanced topic, that is cybersecurity in additive manufacturing during my internship period. As you all can see, I presented the poster which we have made during our final internship project, and everyone contributed very determinedly, and we got the result. So during my master's admission, the experience which I got from IRES program helped me to build the confidence. And I'm fortunate that Professor Nikhil, Dr. Hemant, and Professor Ghaffar gave me a letter of recommendation at the time of my admission process. I have built such a strong and friendly network with each and every participant throughout my life from this internship that I'm very thankful to all of them. And that's my biggest achievement from IRES program. So that's the last picture we have taken on the last day of our internship. And that's on the 10th week of our final internship period. So everyone was sad, but everyone was very sad because the 10 weeks just flew away quickly, but we enjoy each and every moment of the internship. Thank you.
Professor Galani, you're on mute.
Thank you very much, Yadnish, for this great presentation. I like the last picture.
Okay.
It tells a lot, really.
Yeah.
And anyway, so you know, in this program, there are some people work behind the scenes and some people work in the scene. Some people you can see, some people they do things behind the scene, you cannot see what they are doing. But
Yeah.
Gary Mack was working behind the scene and also in the scene. And he was doing a very good job, very perfect. All the time he's present, he can address all the concerns of the students and anything, respond to all their needs. I thought he's a professor, and every time I go and check, I found he's a PhD student in NYU. And then again, after I see his work, I say, oh, he's supposed to be a professor. So Gary was very close to the students, and he was working very closely with them for the last 2 years. And he can answer, by the way, by the end of the session, a lot of your questions. But let's give him a time to talk about his experience working with the students in the last 2 years. You're welcome, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction, Dr. Galani. So before I begin talking about this year's experience with India and being able to go to India, I want to give a little bit more background information about our program for those of you who will be interested in applying for next summer 2023. So the program deals with research in cybersecurity and additive manufacturing. And in the cohort of our students for this year and the past year, besides coming from US and India, they also come from different backgrounds. So different disciplines of engineering, mechanical material science, electrical engineering, as well as computer science and those who are dealing with computer engineering, electrical engineering. And in the 8-week program, they've worked a lot with different assignments dealing with security related in manufacturing or design work. And since everybody comes from different backgrounds, we usually pair them together, one with an engineering experience, one with more coding, programming experience, and they'll work together in these different assignments as well as projects. So this year in the beginning, one of the assignments that we had was to design a 3D printing artifact, and the next assignment will be a red team, blue team assignment where one of the teams will secure their part anywhere they can in the CAD file, whether it's applying a watermark, applying these embedded codes in there, password protected files, or encrypting their files. And once they're done securing the file, they'll hand it off to a different team, to be able to hack or try to break their protection. So throughout the program, each student will get to work in groups, work together collaboratively, and learn a lot from each other as well as from the program. So we'll have a lot of lectures in the morning for students in different areas of engineering as well as cybersecurity topics. And it's really a great learning experience overall. So this year for the program, the first 6 weeks was ran virtually. And for the last 2 weeks, we're able to get a chance to take some of the students to India and visited 3 different universities, both public and private, to understand how their facilities and their students' lifestyles are different, as well as explore a lot of the facilities, industry, and sightseeing in India. So coming from the different backgrounds, the people that went, one of them, Kevin, he was a mechanical engineer interested in aerospace. Another student was Akar. He was also mechanical engineering, but more interested in sustainability. Janice, who was a biochemical engineering major, was more interested in the medical application. And Marshall, who was integrated media design, was interested in design and consumer products. So for each of those US students with different backgrounds, there was a lot of opportunities when visiting these different facilities for them to learn and understand the equipment that's being used in their labs, the research that the students in these institutes are doing as a PhD, and how there was a lot of interaction with the students from these universities and how their workload, curriculum, lifestyle would differ. So we got to visit a lot of the different departments, mechanical. One in particular down here, there was a facility for cybersecurity, and they are monitoring a lot of the different incoming and outgoing traffics, and they would be able to determine whether there has been a breach or not in a network system of a company. So there's a lot of things that were learned, experienced while we were in India for those 2 weeks, visiting the 3 different universities. So on the top right, there was the students trying to analyze the graphs as an output. This was the wind tunnel that we visited in one of the facilities, and they were looking through in the data that was previously collected. And on the bottom right, we got to visit a prototyping design facility where they worked a lot on prototyping and that was also the day that we were able to work together with the Indian students there at the time. There were a few problems provided to us, and we had to work together in teams to kind of come up with a solution to the problem. So overall, I think each one of us, even though we come from different backgrounds, there was a lot to experience in these facilities, how the labs and all of the equipments were there, and how the student life was different from these Indian institutes. So the second thing would be the besides the research and visiting these facilities, there's also a cultural exchange. So half of us come from US and we've been interacting with Indian students. So how are their lifestyle different, right? The food, every Friday we have a cultural exchange where we just share all of the culture aspect, whether it's coming from different backgrounds or how was it different just growing up. So besides visiting Taj Mahal, we were also able to see all the different other temples and landscapes that was there, and right, just the city of Jaipur, which was like the pink city, and how the architecture there was different. All of the buildings had that unique color to it, and how the food, the lifestyle was different. So overall, in the culture exchange, visiting India, there was a lot of things that we were able to see. So hopefully, for those of you interested in joining us next year, you'll get to apply, conduct research at IIT Mandi, and be able to experience the full cultural exchange experience and everything that the facilities will have to offer. And overall, it was a good experience, and very happy that, you know, as undergraduate students, there is opportunities for you to apply to internships like this to be able to experience all of that. So with that, I'll
Thank you very much, Gary, for this great presentation. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. So you can start typing your questions in the chat area. And Gary, during the remaining minutes, we have a couple of speakers. During that time, he will read your questions and prepare answers to you. Our next speaker is Sudhanshu Mishra from Indian Institute of Technology. Very motivated students. He has very high spirit. I like it. As soon as I sent the email, he replied to me, said he wants to present in this mini-symposium. So I said, okay, it's important that I have to give him this opportunity. So Sudhan, you're welcome to start.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Am I audible right now?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present my experience. So hello, everyone. I'm Sudhanshu Mishra. I was part of the 2021 cohort of this program. During that time, I was a student in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Kanpur. Since then, I have graduated with a dual degree, a master's and a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering. I'm currently working as a machine learning engineer at a startup called VMOC. So, like, I'll first mention my motivation for the internship. Like, previously, I had done a research internship in machine learning. But I did not have much experience in a research environment in the mechanical engineering domain. And so what I wanted was basically to get some experience working on some of the core subjects of my department, because I was always interested in pursuing a PhD sometime in the future. And like, I was confused about whether I want to do a PhD in computer science or whether I want to do it in mechanical engineering. And so like, my main motivation was basically to get some experience in in this field. Now, my background in AM, in additive manufacturing, as part of some of the coursework during in my institute, I had experience designing CAD models. But like throughout the internship, basically, I realized that my knowledge was quite shallow, and the internship actually helped me a lot to, sort of polish my skills in CAD design. Uh, 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 During like one of my lab courses, I had created a couple of prints of some chess pawns and chess queens, but that is all that I had. And when I actually got the flyer for the program, the title was cybersecurity and additive manufacturing. I initially, like, I knew what cybersecurity was, I had no experience in that, and I knew what additive manufacturing was, but I had only a basic experience in that field. But yet I applied, and what I later sort of realized why I was selected was basically like the problem is actually very interdisciplinary. Uh, and that's why in our cohort we had people from both computer science and mechanical engineering, and basically you the whole problem of detecting counterfeits or hacking into the 3D printing pipeline, it's something that sort of requires the best of both worlds. So I'll now mention like my internship experience. It was a wonderful experience because I had this was my first chance of interacting with people from other countries. Now, throughout the internship, the internship was structured in a very I just have one word about it. It was structured in a very beautiful way, and all the credit for that goes to Gary and Dr. Hammond Pierce. And this is something that I was so inspired that in my final year I was teaching assistant for TA1 for an engineering drawing course, and I tried to sort of instill some of the same techniques in as part of my assistantship. Now, like throughout the internship, we had a lot of lectures based from experts in the industry and professors. And throughout that, we sort of came to know a lot about the recent trends in additive manufacturing. And that is something that I have previously done 3 courses in manufacturing science. And the things that I learned during the internship were sort of something that I never knew about. Something that I still sort of find quite fascinating, and I still remember from my internship, is about bio 3D printing. We had a lecture from Professor Sanjay Raj from NYU Abu Dhabi, and this was something that I'd only seen as part of YouTube videos or like on channels like Seeker and science channels, and this 3D printing always feels like magic to me. And during that lecture, we actually got into the minute details of how actually like the ink is made of cells, and how organs are being created and how skins are being created, and that is something I do not think I would have known if I was not part of this experience. The internship helped me get a clearer view of what I want to do when I'll pursue my PhD in the future. Uh, During the internship, I come from a mechanical engineering background, so I have some exposure to ML, but I did not know anything about cybersecurity. And throughout the lectures, we also got lectures on cybersecurity and solving machine learning, using machine learning to sort of identify defects or identify defected files amongst the data. And that is something that is a skill that that sort of helped me helped me during my placements and get me the job that I am right now. Now, some of the difficulties that we faced during the program was basically, as Caleb had mentioned previously, was the difference in time zones. Now, like there's almost a 12-hour difference between India and US, and so initially it was very difficult to sort of work together and collaborate. But later on, like the more we talked and we sort of realized how to actually work properly, how to have meetings and simultaneously work on different on our assignments. Now, one thing that is I think non-academic and but it was a great learning and realization for me was basically while I was collaborating with my teammates, particularly my partner Alex from Tufts. Basically, it was how like the Indian education system and the US education system are sort of built a bit differently, and how our thought processes are actually a bit different. And and you may have heard like people saying like you should think outside of the box, but like we as people are made up of our own opinions and biases. So during when we were participating in Hack 3D, me and Alex were trying to figure out a puzzle, and like we had spent almost 3 days and we did not know we hadn't solved it. When we finally discussed, we sort of, I was able to see that okay, he had approached the problem completely differently, and that approach sort of just helped me, helped something clicked in my brain by listening to his approach and helped me solve the problem. So so collaboration and getting different perspectives is something that I think like this program sort of made me realize about, and that is something that is very essential for every student during their undergraduate studies. Now, one of the most memorable experiences I think for all of the students in the program was was Fridays. Fridays were basically kept for cultural exchange sessions, where a lot of times we exchanged a lot about the different cultures, like our food and like other places in our country, as well as we also had a lot of fun playing different games and interacting with each other. So as part of my accomplishments, I participated in the summer edition of Hack 3D, but unfortunately, we did not qualify. But the experience actually sort of helped me, polished my skills in sort of figuring out puzzles more quickly. And I teamed up with some of the members of my cohort, and we participated in the Seesaw edition that happens in November of Hack 3D. And because we had already participated in the summer edition, I think we had a slight edge, and we were able to win the second place in the Seesaw edition of Hack 3D. I'm still eagerly awaiting for this year's Seesaw. Now, I'll show you some of the pictures that I have from my last year's internship. This is me, Alex, Ish, and Anjali solving one of the assignments. This is one of my teammates, Viba, with her partner Famida. And this is actually like a game of 4-player chess that we played during our internship. It was really fun. And here is basically a mutant camel that one of us drew as during Scribble. And this is basically Caleb's cat that we had a lot of fun talking about during the Slack groups. And finally, like as Yadnesh had already shown us, this is the final picture of our internship. Now, my advice for people is definitely try applying to the program. And like Caleb had said, like even if you don't get into the program, try reaching out to your professors, go and do some participating in cultural club activities. One of the things that you probably cannot get like without the program is the cultural experience. But there is a way that you can still sort of get some aspect of it. In Hack 3D, you can sort of participate and make up teams with people from all around the world. And these competitions are really fun and very creative, and they help you in sort of learning more about 3D printing and just problem solving in general. Thank you, and that is it from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Sudhanshu, for this great presentation. We have one more speaker, one of our students. She has a surgery today, so she recorded her presentation, and this will be the last presentation before we get into questions and answers. So we're gonna have Sheni Huang from New York University in a short video presentation. I think sure. Sorry, I opened something else.
Hi, I'm Shenyi from NYU Tandem class of 2025. I'm currently majoring in computer science. I interned in this program in summer 2022, and I will be a software engineering architect intern at Bank of America next year. So before applying to this program, I've only used CAD software to 3D print parts for NYU's competition, and then I realized that, well, 3D printing is pretty fun, so I decided to apply for this program. My expectations included collaborating with students from different backgrounds to learn additive manufacturing process, and also learning about academic research, including doing publications and academic posters. So in this program, I've learned additive manufacturing process, and also I've learned some knowledge related to cybersecurity, cryptography, and machine learning by attending guest speakers' lectures. Also, I've boosted my communication skills. In this program, I had to work students from different time zones, so we need to update our progress to each other and negotiated a time to set up a Zoom meeting to communicate with each other. Also, in this program, we have this thing called cultural exchange. We have game day in which we played some popular games like Among Us and Scribbles, so we can get to know each other more. Also, we shared food recipe and played diversity bingo together. So I would say we were really working in a diverse environment. The only thing I gained from this program is not limited to knowledge, but also friendship. The most unforgettable experience is Hacks 3D Challenge. In this challenge, our team had to solve a puzzle in 2 days. At the beginning of the competition, I was really sick, and I told my teammate about it and worried about they might blame me for being sick at the beginning of the competition. However, they didn't blame me and completed the task really well. So I would say I really cherish the friendship I gained from this program. Also, the whole communication process in this program was really smooth. Everyone is willing to listen and learn from each other. For the future, I think I will pursue a master's degree in computer science. One advice I would give is never limit yourself to one particular area. Try more stuffs and then decide which one you want to explore further. That's it. Thank you for today.
Thank you, Shani. We wish her successful surgery today. I like her last comment that we should not limit ourselves to one area. We should try to learn more. She's from computer science and she's trying to learn additive manufacturing. Okay, we have a few minutes left. Dr. J. Dodamani from Indian Institute of Technology is sick. He has a pain in his throat, so he will not be able to deliver his presentation. So we will proceed to questions and answers. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to chat them. It's now 12:57. So we're supposed to finish by 3, but we can extend it like 3 more minutes. So we can finish by 1:03 or 1:04. We don't want to go beyond 1:05 because I know everybody has something to do. So if you have any questions, I hope there are some questions in the chat area from the participants. I have some questions also, Gary. Maybe you can answer them. Students ask me about what to expect for next year, how the program looks like. We had a conversation with Nikhil just a few minutes before the seminar. Also, when a student asked me about the food, he said, how is the Indian food? I know Indian food is very delicious, so and I like spicy food. So he was very concerned about the spicy foods. It's just for so to him, no, they don't put the spice. It's not like I was able to eat it. I love it spicy, but I didn't have any problem. So it's a good experience. So Gary, you have any questions here? If you are from City Tech, oh, by the way, I'm going to put a link. If you are from City Tech only, I'm going to put a link in the chat. Please follow that link. And you can, what we're trying to do at City Tech, we're going to have a cohort of students. We work with them during the year, and then by the end of the year, they can apply to the summer program. And so they will get some training before they apply to the summer, which will help their application.
So one thing I wanted to add is that I think this is the right time to circulate the link for Hack 3D, which is going to be in November of this year. And the application for next year summer programs are not open. We are going to open them towards late October or early November. So if you are already registered on Hack 3D, you will receive emails from us alerting you about opening of this program. And we will again put the application link on the NSF site and other websites where we invite the applications. So we still have some planning to do because last 2 years were heavily impacted by COVID. Now we are getting past COVID. So hopefully next year, all 8 weeks are going to be in India. So that will be a little bit different structure compared to what we have been following so far.
Yeah, so in the chat, I did post a link to Hack 3D. So registration will open soon for Hack 3D in the fall. But once you have signed up for Hack 3D, you'll be part of our mailing list. And later on this year, when the summer internship for summer 2023 opens up, you'll be notified on where to apply and where to submit your application.
Also, one student is asking how to apply for the program.
The applications are not open yet. We will circulate the link at a later date. I think the program application will open sometime in October.
And also maybe there is one question here. Link for City Tech. I just got. Well, students asking what should they go to India? What should they take with them?
Yeah, we organize detailed sessions to let students know what to expect when they travel to India.
And I'm typing a message for those who joined late. They're asking for the full lecture, so the full symposium. So I will circulate it in a YouTube after the lecture.
Yeah, so one question is important, the last one, will the program be funded? So I want to answer that. So students are paid $600 per week stipend. All their expenses to India, including flight tickets and the hotel or guest house, they are all covered through this program.
Any other questions? City?
Which city? So Dr. Dodamani has now moved to an IIT. Primarily, the program is going to be run at Indian Institute of Technology, Mandi. It's a beautiful hill town, and there will be visits to IIT Kanpur and some other places. So final structure will be decided before we open the applications for this year. The program is total 8 weeks.
Also, what is the level of skills recommended for students? I know we have diverse program, but the students will want to know what skills will be useful for them in this program.
So initial 1 or 2 weeks, we run lots of workshops to bring all of them on the same page. And the whole idea is that, we create groups so students don't feel isolated. So one student from mechanical engineering will be paired with one student from CS or ECE. And they form a nice group where they have enough programming and materials or manufacturing background together. What is the intake strength? I think the number of students this year is going to be 6.
Oh, by the way, we have Professor Kote also from BNIT, Nagpur. So welcome, Professor Kote. He has a question, if it is possible to run this program with BNIT next year, maybe.
Yeah, I'm happy to discuss it because, we were impacted by COVID for 2 years and we did most of it online. But as we travel to India, we have to see. And one concern would be to reduce the exposure of US students if this remaining strain of COVID somehow persists. I don't know how the situation is going to be. So this year we did not go to NIT Surathkal. We had Jaipur, Kanpur, which are like, sort of proximity, and ran the program only there. Didn't take internal flights. Civil engineering students have applied before. We have selected them in the program. Mechanical, materials, civil, aerospace, computer science, electrical engineering. We pretty much had everybody. Marshall was one of the participants from digital media this year. They are heavily into design component, which is useful in manufacturing. Okay, we are at 105. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's time that we wrap up. Thank you very much for all of you for coming. We hope to see your applications and see more of you in the next round of this program. If you have any questions, you have our names and email addresses. So feel free to send us any questions or concerns. We will be happy to help you, whether you are in NYU or in IIT or City Tech or even any other college. Thanks again for your participation and have a good day. Bye.
Bye.